Romans 8:29-30. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those he predestined, he also called. And those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. Ooh, wait a minute. So those he foreknew were the ones that are glorified? So do we have a choice in salvation? Or was this decided at creation? That's what we will be talking about. Let's say you have a magic TV set, and this TV set will show you what's going to happen tomorrow. And on the TV set, you watch a robbery the day before it happens. Did you make them rob the store? No, you just watched it. Can you decide what you're going to do to punish them, even before they commit the robbery? Yes. This is kind of what is happening here. Just because you know what's going to happen doesn't mean that you caused it to happen or that you made it happen. The contemporary English version, I think, is pretty close to this idea. And he has always known who his chosen ones would be. He had decided to let them become like his sons, so that his son would be the first of many children. The problem is they're kind of interpreting there, and it's not really clear in the Greek, but I think they have the right idea of what's being said. Revelation 17:8. The beast, which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names were not written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. Talking about foreknowledge, this is kind of interesting. The Bible talks about a book of life. Notice that it was written before the creation of the world. All the saved, every person that is saved, has their name written in the book of life from before the creation of the world. That sounds a little bit like foreknowledge. Revelation 20:12. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. The dead were judged according to what they had done, as recorded in the books. And then Revelation 20:15. Anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. So here are two more references to the book of life in the book of Revelation. And actually, someday we may go into this, but the whole book of Revelation is really about the opening and the reading of the book of life. Philippians 4:3. Indeed, true companion, I ask you also, help these women who have shared my struggle in the cause of the gospel, together with Clement, as well as the rest of my fellow workers, whose names are written in the book of life. The book of life is referred to all through the New Testament and the Old Testament. Here's an example in the New Testament. Exodus 32:32. But now, please forgive their sin, but if not, then blot me out of the book you have written. I think this is a reference to the book of life. The situation was Israel had sinned and God was really upset and was going to wipe them all out. And Moses said, well, I really want you to forgive them. If not, just wipe me out of the book of life. We have seen in this lesson that God knows everybody and everything they're going to do. But that doesn't mean that he made them do it. So you are still responsible for repenting and turning to Christ. That is your decision. Now, there's a little bit more to this that we're going to discuss next week. And it relates to the mercy of God.